It's a little worrisome, especially with the fact that Mirage are walking into this with the the worst of all of their discography for this stage being a 7-4 loss. So I think Soniqs definitely are walking into this with the chip on their shoulder, though. They got a lot to prove here today. A couple of their players have not been playing up to snuff, like you heard from Laxing on the desk. Grixer and Citizen especially bubbling to the top in that regard. So we're looking to the Soniqs to use this as more of a proving ground to see if they can bounce back from such a poor start here today. This is it's now. It's right now. We need these points, and it has to happen on Chalet. The first ban's going to come through, though. Mirage is going to end up taking Twitch off the board. Let's see what our other offensive ban is going to be. It's going to be Dokkaebi. I like where this is going so far.
And no hard-reaching ban to speak of, so all the tools available to the attack will remain so. I have to imagine with the Twitch ban, Mirage may be hoping to keep Mira alive. Soniqs will respond with a Fenrir ban instead. So I think Mirage will round things out with maybe an Azami, maybe a Solus, as the desk talked about. Mirage do love their Solus bans, but you can go a couple different ways on Chalet. I think maybe the Azami would be the best option out of the remaining ones. A Valkyrie as maybe a second, and no, actually. They've decided to ban the Thorn, so that does mean Azami and Solus and all of those operators will be left up. But no, I guess, I almost forgot the gun name. No Uzi 1.5, I suppose, for Mirage defense to start.
Kind of a favorite nowadays on the defense. It seems like whatever they slap the 1.5 on, everybody's willing to give a gander for a while, right?
I checked the numbers. Second highest pick defender in ranked Emerald and above on PC. Guess what number one is?
Azami?
No, Warden.
Oh, man, I tried. I really thought that at this point in time, it's year 8, right? I thought they'd favor utility over sights, but that's on me, really.
I mean, listen, we're talking about operators that you can just hit drive-bys on the attack with. Warden 1.5, Thorn 1.5. Like, no need to go against that. Take one off, but you also don't want to get rid of the Warden in case the attack does run a Ying, which has not been banned in today's matchup. Mira is on the board now that Twitch is taken care of. So with Mira and the Azami in hand, alongside even Cade as well, Mirage have really a lot of utility that should make these vertical or horizontal extensions, in this case a vertical one on Kitchen Dining, extremely hard to pierce.
Well, speaking of piercing things, it seems like they have the dagger for this one. They're going to be bringing Geo on the shield. This is a bread and butter play of Soniqs. Something that we're more than likely going to be seeing routinely throughout this. It really just depends on what site they're going to be hitting. It seems like for this one, they're prepped and ready to try and clear this out. This can help them with some of the top floor extensions that Lynx was talking about, especially with things like this position that we see inside of Piano. And as for Mirage, though, not really anything standing in the way of Geo minus probably these laser gates, but as for traps, really nothing at home for him.
Ooh. Spiker taking advantage of lack of intel by Soniqs. Citizen taking advantage of a nice angle upstairs. Might lose a Selma charge for the attack, but you gain a shot onto Kanzan, and Citizen's gunning for a second, knows someone is on those solar stairs, and has worked his way into Trophy with nobody actively holding the window, and can start to apply pressure on this player playing on the bottom of the stairs. Grixer moves in for the kill, Sloppy now cut down. Rampy trying to stop these players from marching further into Trophy. Might down one, but Rex in excellent coverage. Move to a bit more of a backline position on the Lion, holding the bathroom window instead of Onse Ayana pushing on in. 5v2 now for the Soniqs and looking to probably take even further control.
Well, Soniqs banned the Dokkaebi in favor of the Lion, and it's working beautifully so far, locking down Mirage, not really allowing them to rotate in any creative way, and really making it to where the clear is just so easy for the Soniqs, especially with what we saw on the top floor. Yeah, zone damage coming their way, and Citizen kind of getting stuck up on the Solarium stairs, but even then, it's all a cruel ploy just to gain a little confidence out of the defense, and they'll win it instead. So, very first round going towards Soniqs and looking a lot more like themselves.
Definitely the kind of round that if you're a Soniqs fan, you were hoping you would see. Again, flawless, of course, and it might not have been some crazy execute, but we saw Citizens showing up, getting that opening pick, and also, more importantly, developing and acquiring some very, very good control to basically make anybody on that second floor who wants to rotate down solar stairs either forced to take the fight with him in Trophy or rotate around the bathroom window. Basically, just their primary avenue back to the bomb site completely cut off in the first 45 seconds. And then Soniqs also had extremely good positioning with Rexen on that bathroom window to cut off the rotation, with somebody, I think, on the solar window as well. So a lot of the problems we've seen from Soniqs, you know, either one player doing the majority of the heavy lifting, positions left uncleared, or angles left untaken. Definitely not a problem in round one, and Soniqs seem to have a good hand on the Chalet attack. Let's just see how they transfer that to the other bomb sites.
Well, we kind of talked about this during the ban phase, and I feel as though since she's now here, it's probably a great time to talk about her. The Yink's going to work its way in for the Soniqs, that we see quite often, speaking of game plans that they like to favor, and one that they're quite good at as well. Very execute-heavy operator at the end of the day, but one that can get so much done for your squad, especially when used properly. But for Mirage, at least the good news actually for the Soniqs' sake in their lineup, no Warden here, so able to use these flashes and these smokes to their fullest effect, especially for Grixer's case.
And Grixer 3-0 right now. Of course, no team suffering a death after that flawless. Grixer looking to extend his lead in the kill count even further. First set of Candelas and smokes go on in, maybe just trying to bait out some utility. Nobody committing to that push just yet, hoping that Mirage either start giving up positions to compensate for the now Trojan rush. But nobody from Mirage takes the bait. All C4 still in hand. People still holding the mirror windows and the mezzanine position. So good play to not react too quickly by Mirage. And now Soniqs will instead move to a bit more of a normal clear. Gunner with those X-Kairos to try and force the player playing the mezzanine mirror off that position. Ooh, one Candela wasted, unfortunately. You have 4, so you might be able to make a mistake, but with 1 already used for a rush, and Geo now down to only 1 with nothing gained off it so far, Soniqs are starting to become strapped of that powerful utility.
E1D out in the push through a perfect Candela thrown in from the Ying of Geo. They'll capture 1. They know where the second one is 2, and that'll go to Rexen as well. It's a double kill for him. Kansan will try and course correct. He'll get 1, make it 2 as he'll down Rexen, but can he confirm before the potentiality of the flank? All right, around the Kiba barrier will be Grixer, and be able to close the door on him. Soniqs will be able to maintain the man advantage, but Kansan at least be able to give Rampy and Spiker a chance.
I was about to say, Rampy's actually retaken the top floor, and that mirror window is not broken, so he still has the full strength of it, but recognizing the low time, he will back off.
Thought there was somebody over there in the lobby. I got really worried for a second.
Nah, thankfully nobody from Soniqs holding the fireplace door, so Rampy's egress back to the bomb site is safe. He'll join Spiker down below. No C4 in the hands of the Mira. It'll be guns up for both the remaining defenders. Rampy retreating to likely the position in which he'll remain for the rest of the round on library stairs, make sure nobody can push through that first floor. But right as I say that, he is rotating all the way up the fireplace instead, but still looking to contest the first floor from down below. Intel and somebody in dining. Oh, a great heads-up impact grenade removes Grixer, dealing to Capital his first death, but it's traded out fairly quickly. Good vertical control by the Soniqs to put Spiker in a 1v2. Again, no C4, so this will have to be by gunplay. Citizen's got a nade, and Hibana's got flashbangs. A couple go on in. Ooh, Spiker does spot 1. The flashbangs do not blind the Mira. Now Gunner's got to be careful as the Mira wraps around. Oh, just does not react in time. Gunner's able to close out and win a key gunfight to give Soniqs a 2-0 lead.
A slow burn for Spiker, and you got to feel for the man. Rip the Band-Aid off already. Almost gets the clutch, but unfortunately not able to see the man swinging out from behind the bar right there at the last second. Still thinking he's right on the other end there, right inside of games, but obviously not the case. So Mirage are going to go down 2 rounds, but I mean, past not being able to get ahead of the Soniqs early, I think they did a very good job in this round of being able to stay competitive. Soniqs take full control of the top floor. Kansan really the only one with an answer. And Rampy, yeah, he's feeling like, that one was a little obvious, right? Verticality's been there for a while. Should probably think about that one rotating back in. Fair enough. But overall, like we were getting at, Mirage with a chance, just not able to close it out.
And again, when Mirage are going to succeed is if they can keep this game as competitive as possible, and to feel secure in that fact, picking up 2 rounds in the defense is likely what they are gunning for. 3 would obviously be great, but making sure that it's not just a 5-1 half is what Mirage need, or at least really, really want to happen. We'll see some adjustments on the defense. Kansan switching to that Warden, though there is no Ying in the hands of the Soniqs. No smoke grenades either, just flashbangs on one particular operator being Rexen. Still that Monty clear that the Soniqs went and did flawlessly before, but it wasn't really the Monty that did the talking. It was Citizen taking control of Solar down below, but given the increased focus on the library side of things right now by Soniqs, I don't think we'll see him enter through that window nearly as quickly as he did last time.
Some presence on the top floor here from Mirage, but not really showing face just yet. Why would you? Not really too much to accomplish. Vertical's got kind of an interesting thing going on here inside of the closet. He's got a deployable shield in there as well. Entirety of the south wall is destroyed for him practically. He'll just be playing around that. I don't even think is that a shield? I got like 480p right now. I don't know. Oh yeah, it is a shield. Okay.
It is a shield, don't worry.
Oh man, I'm casting Minecraft right now, so just bear with me in these moments. But either way, Gunner and the rest of the gang still waiting to try and pressure in from the south. A few different key pieces moving their way in. You got Geo trying to break up the wall, allowing them to get some longer lines of sight if they so choose, but still waiting for this offense to bear teeth.
They are making slow progress, and when you're attacking kitchen and dining, if you want to go from library side, you don't need to take full control of the top floor. You just need to push the defense back and stop them from retaking. So Soniqs are just barely over the line of the minimum that they need and might be able to find this pick. Active intel on the Maestro, and he's not able to move. If he rotates off, both of his angles to the left and right are covered by members from the attack. But if he just sits here and doesn't take the bait, Soniqs will be wasting their own time as we're getting down to 45 seconds. It's Mirage to open things up. The bathroom window player now taken down. Rampy might just have had a path out. There's the Monty in front of him now. Oh, with a nice pre-fire. Takes down the Monty's backup. Soniqs now half clear. Really put into jeopardy. There's still a player on Solar who can contest, and there's only 2 players on the Soniqs that have the option to take out their gun. I mean, the Monty can, but if the Monty's the one doing the killing and doing the one trying to get the frags, their attack's already in rough shape at that point. 30 seconds to go. Soniqs also with not a lot of time to keep someone on this top floor. Maybe only one player to play the verticality. That's a great opportunity for Mirage to go for the retake. Grixer exposed himself to the hatch. Might take a lot of damage, but deals plenty in turn to secure a 3v3. Make that an effective 3v2 as Geo lands the killing blow on the finisher. Slothy will try to back up. Another great shot. Oh, might just find 2, but Geo tucks around the corner in time. Only one player covering, and that player's on 1 HP. Slothy needs to land this shot, and indeed he does. But now it's a Monty 1v1 in a post plant. Geo just turns the 180 at the right time. Slothy needs to hit one difficult shot to put this Monty on the floor and then land the defuse afterwards. It's possible. Just brute force it. Keep punching the shield.
Come on, Geo.
Keep trying to shoot that ankle. Somebody give way! There we go. A triple from Slothy, the new recruit on Mirage. We'll finally get the defuse after a lengthy one-on-one.
Well, we said it was going to be a contention here from Mirage. It was going to take a little gusto from them to try and get one over on Soniqs, but they finally gotten it. They've gotten the ball rolling. Not only that, Slothy's gotten on the board in a very, very major way. Something that we didn't see in the same, consistency on Skyscraper. So excited to see if he can keep this up for Mirage's sake here on Chalet. But what a round from them. I especially love this right here from Rampy. Gets the pre-fire out, gets a kill, and then immediately gets seismic toss from Geo.
5 seconds remain.
Huge key win from Slothy right there. And in Mirage's previous bout on Chalet, as I believe Laxing mentioned on the desk, a 5-7 loss to Dark Zero. They were able to get a 2-4 defensive half, or at least win 2 rounds on their defenses. So looking to replicate that success here at a minimum. Slothy has given them 50% of that with a huge 1v1 victory in round 3. Now we're moving over to Bar, which, again, Sam, ultimately came down to a 1v1. That Mirage just happened to lose in that case, but if that's different, they're already there, and hell, if they just put up as good a fight as they did on the top floor, they might just be there again.
Yeah, this is quickly becoming a pretty strong, light heavyweight bout here. I like my odds. I don't really know who to bet on yet either. I just want a good, clean fight. So that's what we're looking forward to. I'm really hoping that Mirage can at least get another round on this defense. I like what you touched on earlier with the 2-4 split. Seems to be the goal for them right now. Most definitely something that we'll be looking to try and capture with this next defense. Defensive lineup-wise, though, looking pretty solid, especially like the addition of the Mirror here. Did have that in the last round when they ended up playing this site, but always a strong op when it comes down to it for this position, making sure you got good vision coming out of the back end of bar stock, and obviously quite a bit of info for themselves, whether it be through Valk cams or through Solus herself.
Page from Citizen to clear the mezzanine position. Oh, just a little bit too far to the left, or a slothy position too far to the right. Either way, the Azami escapes relatively unscathed and keeps those Kiva barriers to make Citizen's job more difficult. Huge pick from Geo onto the Mira down below. C4 gone, but the nades up top are just not hitting their mark. Gunner is, what the hell? Gunner is in the bomb site. He's just made his way into bar. Geo's putting the bomb down. No one from Mirage is the wiser. Everyone's so focused on Citizen on the top floor with no obvious indicators of a rush. Mirage have let the bomb site be snatched out from under them. Gunner even has a powerful position inside of the stock room. He's got this mirror window to stop anybody from rotating up the library stairs or into bar itself. The defense might have vertical control, but a counter to the very position set up by the defense will be difficult. Gunner rotates out instead as Geo holds down the bomb site alone. Gets a second kill for his troubles on the round. Gunner creeps down into bottom fireplace, but the Flores is doing all of the work necessary in round 4. Huge one for Soniqs to stop the momentum from being gained any further by Mirage.
The play identification from Soniqs getting showcased right there. Immediately recognizing that there's nobody in sight, and not only that, the distraction clause on the top floor working so very well. Not a single person even paying attention to any entry point around the site at all, Lynx. They simply walk in the door, position as if they are the defense for absolutely free, and then plant the bomb. Very well done from the Soniqs. They didn't have to lift a single finger to get the case down.
And those are the kinds of plays that it's so good to see the Soniqs make, because it's what they are. I mean, it's what any good team should be doing in this meta, is realizing opportunities like that, then taking advantage of those gaps. But it's something that the Soniqs, especially at Copenhagen, proved they were very, very proficient in, and something that they have lacked so far inside of NAL Stage 2. So to see them be able to do that in this game, in round 4, might just be in a good position to maybe close this out in regulation, like the desk said they need to be doing if they want to keep their hopes at making it to Major via the playoffs and not via a qualifier alive, as that is the danger of their spot right now, especially with Mirage and other teams like Wildcard and LG putting up some pretty decent performances inside of Stage 2 so far.
Bomb located by attackers.
Something needs to give from Mirage. They've got 2 more opportunities to try and close something out on this defense, and almost the bare minimum as of right now here with the 1 round. Just 1 safety, 1 little buffer there for themselves once they do switch sides, so try and get themselves a little bit farther up this path before we do end up getting to that point. As for this basement defense, though, really like the avenue in which we're trying to get at things. Actually, speaking of getting at things, let's look over the Soniqs lineup here for a second. Citizen's actually going to be bringing Ram, which we haven't seen all that much of, but when we have, she's been quite successful at accomplishing one thing and one thing only, and that is ripping up a heck of a lot of floorboards all at one time, and that's more than likely going to be the goal of this situation for Citizen, is he'll be looking to try and run roughshod over the entirety of Fireplace Hall.
This is probably one of the best bomb sites for her on Chalet, specifically because when you are attacking kitchen and dining and you do only go for that half clear from library side, you can just place down an auto breacher and start getting that vertical destruction without having to physically walk into master bedroom or office. So whereas let's say you brought a buck and you might need to worry about the defense or push the defense further back down solar stairs, with a Ram you can accomplish a similar goal and opening up those ceilings without exposing yourself nearly as much as you might with a buck or a sledge for this particular take. We've yet to see that auto breacher activate, of course, though. It's currently just sitting outside the barricade, and oh, that's just a bummer for SQ right there, losing the ace before any hard destruction done. That's a rough go at it, but Rexen, though, it's actually not the kitchen dining bomb site, it's a kitchen dining extension, sites downstairs. Still the same goal, but losing that ace on the middle floor. A rough go at it. Rexen has fought back just a little bit, but Mirage are keeping Soniqs on their toes.
Decently equal trade, but Rough thing is now is that Geo has to do all of the hard breaching, and that's not exactly the greatest thing at the end of the day, but at least he's able to get a big pickup. Some good patience on Library. Finds a crossing Slothy. Able to take him down. Not to the man advantage yet again. Mirage do still have Kansan on the extension, though, with some potentiality here towards Kitchen and one over towards Fireplace, but they usually check this on the swing, and, well, ask and you shall receive. Put your face in places where it don't belong, and Gio's going to rip it off for you. 7-3 right now, and honestly, has he been doing anything extra? I don't really think so. He's just been kind of playing his game, and it's been working out for him.
He's just been holding positions, playing a little bit on the back line, and I guess aside from that opening kill in round 4, he's been doing his job extremely well. This Maverick could prove to be a problem for the remaining Mirage anchors in the site. Oh, Spiker does spot one sitting through that very hole. Might just pick up a second, but the reinforcement blocks most of his shots. We'll just hold these holes for the time being with a deployable shield, looking over towards that angle. Gio will need to be careful. He might be 7-3 at this point, but he might be 7-4 if Spiker's able to land any one of those 81 shots through a perfectly placed head hole in the middle of that reinforcement. Rampy will take the gunfight, or at least take the angle on bottom blue. Will lose a lot of HP. This allows Soniqs to now push into the bomb site. Oh, despite being blind, Spiker picks up a huge kill. That's not the case player. That's Gio needs to be felled, and indeed he does. Just one bullet left to get Mirage that key second defense in round 5. Citizen so low, Citizen so ready, so ripe for the taking. He doesn't even need to land it. Just waits patiently for Citizen to run out the clock.
It has been a while since we had a solid Maestro clip in NA, and that was definitely a fantastic play there coming out of Spiker. What a way to play around the main pillar of wine, you know, try and keep the play active, don't over aggress, don't try and get into the face of the offense way too much. I especially liked how he just tried to keep things kosher around the angle play. Really able to assist his teammates as well on the big swings. I think the thing is, especially past that, is he was able to help them with that bailout moment that we saw that Rampy wasn't really able to cover. He did end up having the cross there, but Rampy just didn't see him moving inside because of like the scope taking up the door when he first entered. So a little bit unlucky for Rampy there, but fortunately enough, he's got somebody like Spiker on the other end being able to, you know, play goal line defense and hold things down for Mirage.
This is starting to get a little worrying for the Soniqs. Not because, even let's say they win this attack, not because a 4-2 half is bad at all for the attack, but if this does end up being a close game, which every single one of Mirage's games have been pretty close so far this season, Mirage have won 2 of the 3 1v1s in this game so far, and that could end up deciding if this game ends in a 7-5, who's the 7, who is the 5. So Soniqs will, especially once they get to their defenses, need to keep that lead and keep these rounds decisive, but that starts in rounding out their attacking half with a victory on Kitchen and Dining, which will likely feature, given the Monty, given the Yana, a lot of the similar strategies Soniqs have so far exhibited in attacking this bomb site now 3 times this half.
Loading you back.
That'll be a Kitchen Dining defense here. And Gio back on the Monty. Selma charges in line for Gunner. He's going to need a little bit of assistance with this. Gio does have those EMPs to try and help.
A bomb has been located.
Worry about that mirror window down low as well. Spiker's going to be occupying this. Does have the Electro Claw in waiting. Just seeing if you can potentially lock that up. Get rid of a little bit of their hard breach, and while hard breach are able to get rid of Lynx, the better. Only have those Selma charges to worry about for the defense's sake, so able to get rid of any of those, it's going to be a huge boon for them. Nice little steal there from Grixer. And to at least get one of these out of the way. That's the beauty of these Brava drones. You can see how he's just constantly flirting with it, really wasting the time of Spiker. And the big thing about that, right, is Spiker has so many things to occupy. He's got to worry about the swing coming in from fire, potentially, all whilst worrying about this drone that's trying to steal his utility. Just a lot of things to try and consider in the moment.
Gunner losing a decent amount of HP on that office balcony doorway. He'll go back on his drone, not too worried about it for the moment. Soniqs again making steady progress, but they found themselves low on time before, and that enabled Slothy's big 1v1. They've definitely made much more progress here, not getting stuck at the piano position. They have pushed fully into master bedroom with this Monty as the tip of the spear. Bricks are all the way out. The trophy window finds vertical rotating down below. Slothy also finished off big player in that previous dining defense. Grixer doing everything he can on that trophy window as 2 different Mirage players have now left the bomb site. It is a 5v1 on the site right now with only Kansan standing guard. But Soniqs aren't pushing just yet. That gives time for Mirage to now retake this top floor all the way from Library. But the attack is watching through the defense's own mirror window. Rampy's got no idea, but he's acting on instinct. And instinct leads the way when only Fury gets you so far. It might have taken a lot of his HP, but he's certainly now given Soniqs a lot of cause for concern. Geo is now pushed on in. That's forced Kansan to back off all the way to West Main. They might have lost that top floor player. They've cut down Rampy. They've got the bomb down. 4-2 is easy at this point, as long as Kansan doesn't hit a crazy 1v4. So Monty in his way, that's not gonna happen. Soniqs get the 4-2 half. That, it, from what we were saying, might just be the bare minimum. Now it's on the defense to do the work.
Honestly, I was considering 5-1 to be the bare minimum, but the more and more that I see the Soniqs play 4-2, yeah, it's sounding like the bare minimum, isn't it? Well, we'll have to see if Mirage can try and get the ball rolling on their offensive side. The Soniqs most definitely did a lot of impressive play, especially surrounding the shield and some more of just the team play. There's a lot of the crosses that we saw, the setup that we saw on the top floor. Let's see this nice shot from here, from Rampy once again. But I mean, still, even with considering that, Soniqs boxed Mirage completely out of their own sight. I mean, somewhat of a good idea to try and keep some people alive and try and play retake, but with those power positions, and especially with just how, you know, strong a lot of the guns that the Soniqs were wielding in that scenario were, it doesn't really look like there is any way that Mirage makes it out of that without something going just insanely into their favor and at like really a blistering pace.
Attack is projected to defuse a bomb.
We've got a commitment to the Grim, by the way, from Kansan in Mirage's first bout on the attack. Spiker also sticking the Capitao. This is a bar defense, and I'm seeing a lot of players all looking towards that double window. Okay, I was worried, like, are we going to see a rush? But no, everyone backs off to their normal positions, at least for now, on the first floor and also on the second floor. Spiker likely trying to use these Capitao bolts to force Geo playing inside this death position in Library. Either to back off, but preferably to take him down. Sometimes we'll see a dock here to outlive those firebolts, but with no dock on the board, Geo will have to fall off the moment that firebolt lands, and will he get away? Oh, yes, he will! God. What a beauty to start off round 7. I'm just gonna let that one breathe. That doesn't need any more description.
Keep up there. You're on duty.
Had to reassess my thought process there for a second. Only seen a drop shot, or rather just a like Kobe fade like that twice in my life. Once in the grand finals of SI, and now here on Chalet.
I was thinking that too.
Insane. Shots you'd never think you'd ever see again in your life, but yet here we are. Anyways, past the the aerial play of Geo, we'll put it that way. Mirage trying to find their way back through this map. They have some control over the basement, no real rotation capable from the Soniqs right now, but not really needing it either. As Mirage are still trying to gather control of that top floor. The verticality, definitely worth it at the end of the day, especially when it comes to this bomb site. Nobody in bar. Obviously, as that back panel has been breached. At 417, as we've heard from both of these offensive units so far, it'll ring true again. Gonna knock down Gunner. I don't really think that anybody's home to try and assist him. Already see yet again Soniqs members getting tagged up. This is starting to feel like Mirage are inching their way forward. They actually have Kansan in with the case right now, just waiting for the moment to strike.
That EE1D is the moment, the buzz they were hoping for. Kansan moving to get it down, but they fall off. Ooh, C4 shot midair. Planter might be down, but Vertical and Rampy both on the coverage. They've kept it going. They've kept the lead. Geo on low HP as well, so when he moves to support Citizen, who's just taken down Rampy, might be on Citizen to do a lot of the work. Mirage got that 4-2, and now it's slowly slipping away. Vertical's got to walk in, get Kansan back up as he has time to res, but Geo just around the corner. One pump, no second to follow. Vertical does spot him. Down he goes. Back to a fourth 1v1 between Soniqs and Mirage, and one that Citizen takes. 5-2 now for Soniqs.
And it was a little murky there for just a split second, especially looking at it from Mirage's perspective. It seemed like there was just a chance for them to be able to get that case down. and have an opportunity to be able to reach out and grasp onto another round, but they're grasping at straws, Lynx. And Citizen quickly sweeps him under the rug. Fantastic round there from Soniqs, and I mean, honestly, a display of force. Mirage fight fire with fire, but Soniqs just burn a little hotter in this one.
Got a 5-2 now, and similar to Mirage on their defenses, the 1v1s might decide this, but at this point, if Soniqs just keep maintaining this individual performance on their roster, I mean, that being just one small example of it, I imagine those 1v1s, even if every single round comes down to it, might just go Soniqs' way a lot more consistently. If you want to take a look, once we get back to the players, if you take a look at the scoreboard, the individual stats on each member of the Soniqs are very impressive. Gunnar and Rexon, sure, -1, but Grixer 9 and 4, huge player on the attack. Geo, huge player on both sides, and Citizen doing a lot of work in round 7. Meanwhile, in Mirage, Vertical didn't have a kill before last round. Everyone else negative on the side of Mirage. I think how close the defenses came is very evident for Mirage, and so far for the Soniqs, they have a lot of solid performances to look back on as we get into round 8.
Couple cast barricades being placed up by Citizen. Take it out from Vertical. Oh, everybody stand back. Vertical's attempting science. Go off without a hitch this time. Not for Rampy though, so drop right into the frying pan. Get cooked by Citizen. Slothy will go down to a frost mat, and so far it's not looking like this is going to be the right step forward Mirage was looking to try and go for. They're gonna lose Slothy now. It's a 4 versus 3. Lots of top floor control in favor of Sonic still. Kansan trying to remedy that with as many Candelas as he can muster. That's going to be his entire kit down. He does have Yana in the wings, trying to cover the flank. He'll be able to get one. They'll get two. The Nitro Cell as well, Lynx. Grixer and Geo, now the only ones alive. Grixer trying to make a stand on this top floor. Does have a castle barricade to try and make things a little more wild. Offense to try and deal with. Oh, it's gonna be the castle barricade that busts! Both of them trying to punch it one time, but Kansan, he thought about it. And he was prepared. Catches him off guard with that melee animation still going. Now it's up to Geo, but actually, that's all she wrote. A round that did not look like it was going to go Mirage's way at all is quickly dealt with by an explosive execution of the top floor.
And I mean, the man we're looking at right now, Kansan, the big reason why that round goes the way it does. It's a 5v3. Slothy walked into a frost mat placed on a rotate hole. He literally walked into it, didn't jump into it, didn't fall into it, just planted his foot right in front of the other and, well, walked into it. But Kansan, my boy Kansan, he catches the Solus flanking from library stairs, flicks 180 degrees, and shoots a C4 landing mid-air in piano. And then goes on to get more kills. Kansan did quite a lot of heavy lifting for Mirage in round 8. And sure, I will say, other players did as well. Saw some good play from Vertical as well, who's now doubled his kill count from round 8, or during round 8. Kansan specifically, man, gonna be looking at him for the remainder of this attack to see if he can keep putting up performances like that.
You're hoping so, right? I mean, especially for Kansan's sake. Kansan has looked so amazing throughout the past, especially when he was on the Soniqs, right? There was a lot of big games from him, some clutch moments, one of the clutchest moments that we've seen in recent Siege history, and one that whenever you hear Kansan's name, you immediately think of in your head, right? So, definitely great to see him back in form and looking happy, man. You can see it on the camera, right? You can see it in his face. Happy to be playing Siege and happy to be playing it at a high level.
Though, talking about players who are currently on the Soniqs, Citizen having a very good game today.
Oh, huge bounce back. You're absolutely right, for sure.
Yeah. Coming in with a string of poor performances inside of the regular season so far, but he has been a force through these defenses so far. They might have lost the last round, but Citizen was the one that opened it up and kept their lead. So if he's still just, again, similar to Kansan, if Citizen maintains that too, Soniqs' lead might never truly evaporate so long as he's in the play. Grixer and Geo both performing very well too. Slothy, though, hoping to see a little bit more from him as he's the one with a hot drone in front of him. Slowly moving on into piano, but now cautious about the library stairs. I'll back off instead. just content with that part of the map right now, want to find some utility, and indeed they will. They'll find a C4 first. This library and all the areas around it aren't really too much of a concern for the Sonics.
We're gonna boogie down into fireplace. Flip up everything here. Doesn't work on hard utility, so that hatch will stay, but all the soft flooring all ripped up down to the bars. Beautiful angle there from Mirage, especially from up top. There's a nice little thing you can try and gather there from Fireplace Geo with a huge find on the IQ. Those verticals right around the corner. These two have went toe-to-toe for years now. You can see the respect. Geo wants to take his time. IQ also can obviously identify Solus if she does have that headset on, but Geo, all he's got to do is play this off audio now. He knows that he's in the area. He knows that he can just more than likely rotate a little bit later on if he waits out vertical enough. Love this veteranism from both of them. Just understanding what the moment is. There's 5 people up. Somebody has to be making a play somewhere, Lynx, and something's got to give. It's going to be Citizen into Rampy, first of all.
That's the Ying gone. Sonics might not be holding library and bar, but they've been holding on to dining for the good portion of this round. And Mirage haven't found an answer to it just yet. Citizen now falls down the hatch, giving it up with 30 seconds left. Smart play, especially since Geo still alive on the flank. Here's someone library, but goes for the bigger play, the bigger moment, and he misses his opportunity. A headshot dealt to Sonics, but not a lead erased. Citizen, the big player on this defense so far. He keeps the 3v2 despite Geo's missed flank. But now it's only him and Rexon to go. Kansan low HP. Slothy getting the bomb down. What a spray transfer. 1 HP remaining. He might just cover it no matter what. Down he goes, but the bomb down. Rexon does spot him, but now Slothy can fall back. He's got vertical too, but reduced HP. Rexon's got the better chance at hitting these shots, but Slothy has the advantage of time. He'll creep down the stairs as Rexon decides to stick, and he finishes it too. 5-4 now for Mirage.
Better count your lucky feathers there, Mirage. That is that is a round and a half of Rainbow Six Siege, ladies and gentlemen. That is as back and forth as you could potentially get on the teeter-totter the entire way. And I mean, emotionally, I am personally in tatters. I don't know about you, Lynx. Ever since we saw that clip with Geo on the top floor there, I just was not feeling the same about that round. It was it was hotly contested. They were able to get a plant down, and not only that, they're able to shut down the remaining members of the Sonics, which didn't look like it was even a feasible thing halfway through that, even halfway through that engagement, let alone halfway through the round. I mean, at this moment in time, right post that clip, right when we see this huge moment here from Citizen come through, it's like, oh, the round's practically over, you think. But then Kansan immediately decapitates him and allows Slothy to win in the 1 versus 1. Things you would never think are even humanly possible, they're capable of. And it just goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning of this game. A little bit more you and me casting, a little bit more in the green room between you and I. But Mirage have this knack to just keep things competitive, Lynx, and it's showing yet again.
Showing definitely thanks to Kansan. Only player positive on the Sonics right now, 11-8, but also credit where credit's due. That's Slothy's second 1v1 victory in this game so far. So even if he is 6-7, a third of his kills directly resulted in a round win for Mirage, and those kills were the sole cause, well, not the sole cause, but the primary cause
10 seconds
of
remaining.
2 of Mirage's round victories.
It was a necessity.
Out of 4 so far.
It was a necessity, right?
It was not, yes, it was not a sufficient condition, but definitely a necessary condition to be sure.
Attackers are heading out.
Here we go
Something that they're
again.
more than likely looking to replicate. It feels like Kansan is the wedge, right? He's the one that's able to just pry the door open enough to shine some light through. Try and help his friends. Some Hodor action here. Game of Thrones for you folks. Kansan's going to be back on the B wielder as well. So we'll see if we get anything out of Grim. I know we touched on it before on the desk, but definitely been liking the changes that they made to Grim with the bigger bloom effect. It just feels like he's a heck of a lot more effective and just more fun to play overall. Been seeing him a lot more in Pro League and honestly just a lot more inside of just general Siege games. Oh no! No way! Something we never see! That run out practically never works, but Gunner's able to find the position. He runs out far enough on a little outcropping and just finds Kansan stepping back far enough from the window to just hit him right in the head.
There are so many layers to that engagement right there. Not enough time to dissect all of them, but the big one, despite landing Geo, which they failed to do before, they have lost easily the biggest player in this matchup for Mirage, Kansan, who has single-handedly won rounds, not just in 1v1s, but with multi-kills, huge flicks, huge moments. That player's now gone. If it gets down to a 1v1, maybe we see Slothy shine, but we're a minute 36 seconds away from the end of the round, and there's still a lot of work for Mirage to do, and a lot of players to worry about, specifically Rexon, Library Stairs, Citizen down below and Dining, in case Mirage ever push down to that middle floor. Still plenty to do.
A lot on the list. They'll be up to the task. They have all the means necessary, although they are lacking their Kansan. That's something that they have been leaning on time and time again to accomplish these early tasks. Now for Mirage, it's up to them to try and don this mantle. It's going to be vertical here. Somebody that they saw shine through on Skyscraper. He's going to land a perfect nade onto Rexon. Something that maybe Geo could have helped, but obviously, unfortunately, not alive. Try and apply those Warden discs routinely throughout the round. And now Mirage's clear can continue on this top floor. Citizen in prime position to try and block this off. Headed off of the pass right when Lion tries to hop in, and he'll be able to get the first one. Big kills coming out from the Soniqs. It's down to the 2 versus 2. 30 seconds remaining. And the Soniqs have been able to make it back to site.
There's the verticality to worry about, but Mirage being so low on time, can they utilize it to its full extent? They're even taking further time to use their Yana clone, find some more intel on these remaining players. Citizen and Grixer have both backed off to stock. To hold anybody dropping this hatch, moving down Library Stairs, but Slothy's pushing in from Fireplace. Is this expected? Are they watching? Yes, they are. They've consolidated, but all their eggs are in one basket as Grixer lines up both and pushes SQ to match point.
Oh, got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, Lynx. And that's exactly what they're doing to Mirage right now. It just so happens to be some owl eggs in this case, as Soniqs quickly scrambling the entire offense here. And I mean, very well done to them, keeping it hotly contested throughout the entire round and knowing when to fall back. That is the key sign of a very solid Siege squad right there. It hits that 30-second marker, Lynx. They all assess the situation like, this is much better for us to just play off of site. We have much less angles to worry about, way less avenues for them to access us, and we know more than likely where they're going to try an entry from. And it all went off with flying colors. Beautiful round there from the Soniqs, able to keep with Mirage every single step of the way, especially with the mentality that we've been seeing from Mirage building. This is a very big round for the Soniqs to get under the belt.
They need that
I'm
one
still
more.
so blown away from that.
I genuinely don't think I've ever seen that run at work. I've seen it attempted a few times, but I don't think
tried
I've
it
seen
like
it work.
72 times, and I've never killed anyone ever on it. Not once.
Be gunner next time.
I guess, right? It's not him.
But Soniqs, they're looking for one more round, but they're not just looking for one more round in overtime. They need this final round. 3 points today. Is it an absolute necessity? No, but to make their lives or the weight on their heads as easy as possible, as comfortable as possible, 3 points is as close to a necessity as you can get. Now they'll have to defend Dining, which so far has gone Mirage's way, but required a 3v5 to come back in the first bout.
Swapping mags.
Well, 2 rounds to find for Mirage. To extend this into OT rounds, championship rounds, right?
Oh?
See the stamina of these two. And as we said, Soniqs really needing 3 points here today. So these rounds, not only pivotal due to the victory, but pivotal due to their position in the leaderboard right now. And just how big of a deal this is. You can see how big of a deal it is to the lineup. I mean, just look at what Grixer and Citizen are pulling off right now. These are 2 players that were practically dormant to start the stage, especially for Citizen's sake. I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the best European fraggers of all time. And he had a 0.67 KD before today, and all of a sudden he's like, I'll just have a 3.0. Is that okay? Is that all right? I think it's okay. I'm going to do it, and I'm doing it with the worst gun in the game, as he takes out Slothy there. Soniqs with a fantastic lead are going to continue to build off this. That's going to be a huge boon for them as well, as they will be able to take out the Yank.
King being down, Mirage always struggling for a decisive lead, sometimes needing to be bailed out by Kansan, or in this case to make an equivalence in terms of gadgets, those Candelas being gone. Ace in the hole, maybe to save a lost round. Now you really are relying on a lot of individual performances. They have opened up that dining wall, but they've not secured top floor control. Citizen, or anybody for that matter, can rotate and shoot, but all of these players in the back, if they can make it all the way to library or to the fireplace balcony, there is one Mirage player on that second floor to stop that very play. But Soniqs have the man advantage. They can afford to be a little reckless to play the trades. It only serves to be a disadvantage to Mirage. If that continues to happen, Citizen has worked himself into that very position. The Yana, his likely opponent on the top floor, while Rampy is looking to move in below. Vertical's making sure no one can move from up top. Instead, it's Kansan, the man of the hour, on Mirage to open things up. Rampy finally finds his way in, finds his path forward. This is where that top floor retake needs to happen, or a C4 needs to land. It'll sail over. Case now cold on the floor, but Vertical gets his kill. He's held the line on top for the time being. But that leaves only one player to hold down below, but nobody's watching upstairs. This is why you need to clear office, and that is why Mirage lose 7-4 to the Soniqs as they bounce back in regulation.
Congratulations to the Soniqs, keeping their major hopes alive with a practically full regulation victory. It almost took every single round, but 7-4 there. You can see how much it means to the squad. Practical tears in their eyes as they are so very